Have you ever felt that your life is stuck in an infinite cycle of repetitions? Wake up, work, come home, and repeat everything the next day without feeling that you are really advancing? The good news is that the transformation is possible and faster than you think. In 90 days, you can become a completely new version of yourself. But forget magical solutions or empty promises. Real change happens with discipline, small daily actions, and the right mindset. Stoic philosophy teaches that we do not control external events, but we always have power over our choices. And it is these daily choices that shape who we become. Throughout this guide, you will learn how to reconfigure your mind based on neuroplasticity, set smart goals, strengthen your body and mind with powerful habits, and turn your environment to ensure your success. With the right method, anyone can evolve, and that includes you. If you want to look in the mirror in 3 months and barely recognize the person you see, it is in the right place. In this guide, we will explore the principles they made of great philosophers and leaders, masters of self-discipline and personal transformation. Are you ready to take the first step? So let's start. Real change does not happen overnight. Forget the idea of a sudden transformation or a click that will change your life instantly. The secret is in constancy. Stoics taught that progress comes from the sum of small actions done every day. Just as a drop of water can sculpt a stone over time, your daily habits shape who you become. Each choice matters, from getting out of bed without pressing the nap button to decide to replace an industrialized snack with something healthier. Imagine you want to run a marathon, but never ran in life. If you try to run 42 kilometers on the first day, it will fail. But if it starts with only 10 minutes running and increasing a little every day, your body and mind will strengthen. This is the logic of neuroplasticity. Your brain adapts to your repeated actions. So think big, but start small. A habit that seems insignificant today may be what in 3 months will make you a completely different person. The key to winning this journey is discipline. There will be days when motivation will be low, but that's where the true transformation happens. Don't expect to be inspired to act first, and the inspiration will come later. Personal transformation is not about momentary willpower, but about creating an unbreakable routine. The change is what you do daily, not what you promise to do one day. Javier was an ordinary man, trapped in monotony. Every day was the same. He woke up late, had coffee running, faced traffic, worked without enthusiasm, and at night sinks on the couch watching series to forget the tiredness. He always said he wanted to change, wanted to be more disciplined, healthier, more productive, but never did anything about it. Until, on any morning, something different happened. In the park near home, he saw an elderly man practicing Tai Chi, moving with serenity and absolute control. The scene was recorded in your mind. How could someone that age exhale so much vitality while he, young, was exhausted all the time? Intrigued, Javier decided to talk to the Lord. The man smiled and said, "The difference between us is not in age, but what we do every day. I move, breathe, focus on the present. You survive, but don't live." These words were a shock. For the first time, Javier realized that his stagnation was the result of his own choices, or rather, lack of them. He decided to do something different. The next day, he woke up early and walked through the park. It was not easy, but in the end, it felt good. Small steps began to turn into a new routine. 3 months later, Javier was no longer the same. He had adopted the habit of physical exercise, improved his diet, learned to meditate, and, most importantly, understood that the transformation happens from the inside out. The man who once lived complaining was now disciplined and focused. Your secret? He understood that each day was an opportunity to improve one, and that constancy exceeded the passing motivation. Like him, anyone can change, just take the first step. Your brain is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. For a long time, it was believed that the mind was fixed and that, after a certain age, significant changes were impossible. But neuroscience proved the opposite. Neuroplasticity shows that our brain is in constant adaptation, creating new neural connections from the experiences and habits we repeat. This means that every choice you make, good or bad, is shaping who you will become. And the best? You have the power to reconfigure your mind at any time. If you spent years procrastinating, feeding badly, or giving up easy, your brain is programmed to repeat these standards. But that does not mean that you are doomed to stay that way. The key to change is in repetition. Small daily actions create new brain circuits, replacing old new habits. If you want to be more disciplined, start with simple appointments: wake up at the same time, exercise for 10 minutes, reduce sugar. Over time, these small actions become automatic, and what once seemed difficult to turn into a lifestyle. Constancy is what this change seals. At first, it may seem uncomfortable, how to learn to write with a non-dominant hand. But gradually, your brain fits, and what once required effort becomes natural. The secret of transformation lies in patience and deliberate practice. You don't have to change everything at once, just ensure that every day you are strengthening the right habits. Your brain will adapt, but it needs you to show the way. Wanting to change is easy. The difficult thing is to turn this will into concrete results. Many people fail change because they set vague goals, such as "I want to be healthier" or "I will save money." But without clarity, any progress becomes hazy. This is where the SMART goals come in: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and with a defined deadline. This method ensures that your goals are well structured and that you can follow your evolution clearly. A final, Sema mapa, como saber si você está indo na direção certa? Let's go to a practical example. Instead of saying "I want to exercise more," turn it into a SMART goal: "I'm going to train 3 times a week for 45 minutes for 90 days. Agora você tem algo concreto." The goal is specific training, measurable 3 times a week, attainable, realistic for those starting, relevant, improves your health, and with deadline 90 days. Esse tipo de planejamento evita frustrações e permite ajustes conforme necessário. Pequenos marcos também ajudam a manter a motivação, pois você verá seu progresso ao longo do tempo. Definir metas inteligentes não significa eliminar a flexibilidade, mas criar plano salado para garantir que você saia de estanco. Pensem suas principais áreas de crescimento: saúde, finanças, aprendizado e estabeleça metas SMART para cada uma. A transformação não acontece apenas com desejos, mas com estratégias bem estruturadas. And the clearer your way, the easier it will be to maintain focus and discipline. After all, a well-made plan reduces the need for motivation and increases the chances of success. If you think transforming your mind has nothing to do with your body, think again. What you eat and how you move directly affect your focus, disposition, and even your discipline. A balanced diet is not just about aesthetics, it is about providing the brain the nutrients needed to work at its best. Foods rich in omega-3, such as fish and seeds, help in concentration, while green leaf vegetables protect against cognitive decline. Avoid excessive and ultra-processed sugars reduces inflammation that impair mental clarity. Small food exchanges can impact your daily performance more than you think. Now let's talk about movement. Exercise is not just a matter of aesthetics or cardiovascular health, it directly improves its mental ability. Activities such as bodybuilding, running, and yoga stimulate the production of neurotransmitters such as dopamine and serotonin, which increase motivation and combat stress. In addition, exercise improves its relationship with discipline. Fulfilling a training routine teaches that constant effort generates results, a principle applicable to any area of life. Want to develop more emotional control and mental clarity? Start by moving your body. And don't think you need to become an elite athlete to feel the benefits. Only 30 minutes of walking a day make a difference. The secret is to turn this into a fixed habit, as well as brush your teeth. Over time, you will realize that taking care of the body and mind are side by side. A powerful mind needs a well-treated body. If you want to maximize your potential, starting with good diet and an active lifestyle is the most direct way to transformation. We live in a world where distraction is the norm. The cell phone vibrates, The mind travels to future problems and emotions oscillate like a roller coaster. But the Stoic people knew of a powerful secret. True strength comes from control over themselves. Meditation and full attention are tools that train your mind to focus on the present and not be hostage to emotions. You cannot control what happens around you, but you can control as it reacts. The practice of full attention does not mean ignoring feelings, but observing them without letting them dominate their actions. If you have already caught yourself impulsively reacting to a criticism or stressing yourself out of your control, you know how emotions can betray us. Meditation, even for 5 minutes daily, teaches your brain how to create a space between stimulus and response. This is neuroplasticity in action. You strengthen the cerebral circuits responsible for self-control and decrease those linked to emotional reactivity. Start simple. Take a deep breath. Feel your body. Watch your thoughts without judgment. Over time, this becomes a superpower against anxiety and impulsiveness. This practice also strengthens discipline. Keeping your mind in the present prevents you from getting stuck in the past or looking forward to the future. Stoics believe that peace comes from focusing on what is within their reach, and this ability can transform your life. By developing emotional control, you become more resilient, make wiser decisions, and live more clearly. In the end, true freedom comes when you learn to command your mind instead of being commanded by it. Have you heard the phrase, "Are you the average of the 5 people you live with the most?" This is not just a popular saying, it is a real principle of personal development. The environment around it directly influences its habits, beliefs, and even its level of discipline. If you about negative people who complain all the time and have no ambition, sooner or later will start to act the same way. On the other hand, if you live with disciplined individuals who seek evolution and face challenges as opportunities, their mindset will inevitably adjust to accompany this rhythm. It is not about cutting old friendships, but about making conscious choices about who you spend more time. If your transformation journey is important, you need a circle that boosts your growth, not that pulls it backwards. This can mean looking for study groups, gyms, networking events, or even following influencers and authors who share the mindset you want to develop. Its environment should be a support for its evolution, not an obstacle. The power of the environment goes beyond people. Your home, your habits, and even the information you consume shape your mindset. If your home is always messy, your mind will probably be too. If your social networks are full of empty distractions, your mental energy will be drained. Make a detox of what it does not add and build an environment that favors discipline, motivation, and growth. Its transformation is not just about willpower, it is also directly linked to the environment you choose for you. The journey of transformation can be challenging, and it is easy to fall into the trap of just feeling satisfied when it reaches the ultimate goal. But if you don't learn to celebrate the small advances, it may end up unmotivated before you get there. Every step you take, wake up early, do a workout, keep the disciplined food for a week, is a sign of progress. And this progress needs to be recognized. Small victories create a motivation cycle that drives you forward. After all, the transformation does not happen of a leap, but step in step. Stoics taught that satisfaction comes from the process, not from the result. If you only allow yourself to feel proud when you reach a big milestone, you will spend more frustrated than accomplished. Instead, celebrate the way. This does not mean accommodating, but strengthening positive behavior. One practical way to do this is to keep a progress diary. Write down your small daily achievements, however smaller. Over time, you will see how much it has evolved and will have concrete evidence that it is on the right track. Motivation oscillates, but constancy guarantees success. If you recognize your small victories, your brain understands that it is worth continuing. This does not mean taking great rewards with each step, but if you allow you to feel proud, you are becoming unrecognizable, changing habits, strengthening your mind and body. And that, by itself, is already amazing. So, before thinking about the next big goal, look back and see how much it has evolved. Isso é o que garanto que você continuará avançando. The transformation you seek does not depend on luck or special talent. It is in the daily choices you make. During these 90 days, You have learned that change comes from constant action, discipline, and the way you shape your environment and your mind. Do not expect to be motivated every day, because the true evolution happens when you act despite the willingness. Each small habit accumulated over time builds the person you want to be. Now the question is, what are you going to do with this knowledge? Will you let this inspiration die, or will you apply it in your daily life? Remember, Javier started with a simple walk in the park, and that changed everything. Your journey can start right now. With a simple choice, get up and act. In 90 days, you can be unrecognizable, but only if you decide to start today. If this content has made sense to you, subscribe to the channel and enable notifications to avoid losing more tips on personal transformation. Share this video with someone who is also seeking evolution and comment here, what is the first habit you will implement? Let's grow together.